The discovery of Luzia has sparked debate around Native American ancestry.
Hell yeah.
Hmm.
Hell yeah.
Why does her discovery disrupt so many widely accepted narratives about history?
This is what the issue is with Luzia. Luzia is remains that were found in Brazil. And everyone would have expected that she would have looked just like a Native American. And the Native Americans are part of the same group of people, the same family, that you would include the Chinese, the Japanese, the Koreans, the Filipinos, that type of East Asian looking population. The Native Americans are thought to be their brothers and sisters. And so everyone expected that when they reconstructed the face of Luzia, she would be that too. And then they reconstructed the face and it was like, damn. And because she's the first South American that we know anything about, then double damn. Mm-hmm. And so all kinds of consternation has happened in anthropological circles because they've got something that they can't really explain. Also, I have read that something funky happened to the institution that housed Luzia, and a fire took place. I don't know if you're aware of this.
No.
Yeah. So the original doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. So make of that what you will. But yes, the peopling of ancient South America is now looking a bit different to what we were expecting. Mm-hmm. So I used to teach for years and years and years. The people of the Americas migrated from Siberia. You know, Siberia and Alaska are nearly touching.
Okay.
And the Siberians would be your Chinesey, Japanesey, Korean-looking population, and them and the Native Americans are the same. And Luzia upset all of that. And Luzia is not the only early skeleton that upsets the apple cart. And so it means that there's a black, ancient, prehistoric presence that needs to be acknowledged.
You said Afro-Cuban music is one of the clearest reflections of African music in the West. Can you explain why it stands out as such a strong cultural mosaic?
Here's why. If we look at African American music, it has undergone something called Code Noir, the Black Codes, which suppressed the drums in America for a long period of time. And so the polyrhythmic complexity of African music disappeared in African American music.
Right.
But it didn't disappear in Afro-Cuban music. They maintained that polyrhythmic complexity. So what's polyrhythm? Having multiple rhythms sounding at the same time. And so one drummer plays one pattern, a second drummer plays a different pattern, a third drummer plays a different pattern again. And when the three drums are sounded, you get this interlocking groove. And that groove is what makes people dance. And Afro-Cuban music has preserved that complexity, where African-American music, they lost that complexity and their musicians had to go and find it.
Right.
And so you had specific jazz drummers, such as Art Blakey, spending time in Africa, learning African drum patterns and bringing that into jazz.
Right.
You had James Brown with his tune Licking Stick, 1966, which is the beginnings of funk, which is polyrhythmic soul music. James Brown and his people came up with that. Yeah. But before James Brown and before Art Blakey, polyrhythm had largely disappeared. So what happened in Cuban music is they preserved it. Now, just as you have a relationship between soul music in America and its parent, gospel music. So a person that's a soul singer, chances are you get their biography and you find out that they sang in church. Aretha Franklin, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Right? In Cuba, the Black Cubans that produced Afro-Cuban, you then check their backgrounds, and they used to sing in Santeria environments. So the great queen of Cuban music, Celia Cruz, grew up singing Santeria. Santeria is the religious Yoruba music. And she did that before crossing over into mainstream Afro-Cuban. This is the same stuff that gets called salsa. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not the correct name. Afro-Cuban is the same name. And so Afro-Cuban has preserved that complexity, and it has influenced jazz. So there is a branch of jazz called Afro-Cuban. It has influenced some of the African-American soul groups. Some of them, you can hear the Afro-Cuban. So it's, and it's had a big impact in Africa. I remember seeing an interview with Salif Keita. Have I got his name correct?
Yeah.
And he used to listen to Cuban music.
Right.
Yeah, he grew up on it. It's such a big influence. So it's not just so Africa influencing the world. You also got Black people in different parts of the diaspora influencing Africa as well. This type of story.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I didn't know that actually Santeria was a type of music as well. I thought it was just their religion from the Vodou or Obia, whatever you want to call it. But is this music side connected to the religious side, or is it? Yeah. It's all together. Yeah.
Yes, it's all together. So basically, a Santeria singer is singing Yoruba religious material, and so Celia Cruz grew up learning that stuff.